Welcome to AppSec Unlock. I'm your host, Edwin Kwan. In our previous episode, we explored building security champions program and effective developer training. Today, we're tackling a challenge that keeps many CISOs up at night. How do you actually measure if your security awareness program is working? Because let's face it, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. But more importantly, if you can't prove its value, you can't justify its budget. Let's start with what everyone gets wrong. I recently spoke with a security director who proudly announced that 100% of their employees completed security training. That should be great news, right? But when I asked about their phishing click rates, it's still high. The security incidents, there's no significant reduction. And the developer security practices, they've remained largely unchanged. Now, this illustrates the first major problem in security awareness metrics: measuring activity instead of impact. Completion rates tell you nothing about effectiveness. The real question isn't, did they take the training? It's, did the training change anything? Let's break down security awareness metrics into three categories. You first have your leading indicators. They could be things like security tool adoption rates, proactive security consultations, security requirements, and project planning. The next category is the current state indicators, and they could be security bug detection rates, security review participation, and security design patterns usage. And the last one is your lagging indicators. These are your security incident rates, your time to detect and time to respond to threats, and your cost per security incident. But here's the key. You need all three categories to tell the complete story. Now, let's get something specific about measuring behavior change. The first is you need some baseline metrics, things like an initial security assessment scores. It could also be current incident response times or existing security practice adoption. The second metrics that you need to have is your engagement metrics. And this includes things like the quality of your security discussions, the voluntary usage of security tools, and the participation of your security champions program. And the last metric is your impact metrics. And they include things like changes in security incident patterns, improvement in code security scores, and speed of security vulnerability remediation. Here's a tip. Create a security behavior scorecard for each team, but make it collaborative. Use it to identify areas for support, not criticism. Now, for the part your executives care the most about, your ROI, your return on investment. Here's a practical framework. First, you look at direct cost savings. And this could include things like a reduction in security incidents, faster vulnerability remediation, and lower third-party audit findings. You should also look at your indirect benefits, and this includes things like improved developer productivity, faster release cycles, and enhanced customer trust. And the last one is risk reduction, and that includes a decrease in threat surface, improved threat detection, and better incident response. The key is translating these metrics into business impacts. Don't just report numbers. Tell the story they represent. So let's look at a practical implementation. Let's see how you can implement this in your organization. First, start small. Pick 3 to 5 key metrics and start off by establishing clear baselines. Next, you're then able to set realistic improvement targets. Second, use automation, and use automation whenever you get a chance. Things you can automate includes the integration of your security tools, the metrics collection that could be automated, and also having real-time dashboards. And the other thing that you need to do is regular reviews. Do things like monthly trend analysis to see how things are going with your program and whether they're trending in the right direction. You could have quarterly program adjustments and annual strategic planning. Okay, it's time to wrap up. Let's remember these key points. First, you should focus on impact over activity. You should also measure behavior changes and be able to connect metrics to business outcomes. Use data where possible to drive improvement so that you can tell the story behind numbers. I hope this has been useful, and for our next episode, we're going to explore how to build security culture by design. This is AppSec Unlock. I'm Edwin Kwan, and thanks for listening.